Hi, my name is Scott and I'm here at Oxy Wellness, and Alan has asked me to talk a little bit about my experience with the hyperbaric oxygen chamber. So in November of 2015, just a few months back, I was in the Ultraman World Championships, which is a 3-day triathlon, and on day 2 of the race I crashed my bicycle at 70 kilometers an hour. In a light rainstorm, my tire slipped out and I crashed into a concrete bridge. I sprained my wrist, broke my arm in half, broke my shoulder in 3 parts, broke 3 ribs, and I broke my skull open when I hit it on the curb. I had a resulting concussion from that called a diffuse axonal injury with a hemorrhage to the frontal lobe and a point impact to the base of the cerebral cortex. So it was a very serious injury. It's actually one of the most serious concussions you can get. I got back to Canada and ended up in the hospital here because I had an undiagnosed, they missed my broken arm in the US, and my shoulder was in pieces, so I had to have surgery. And I've got a metal plate put on my shoulder, a metal plate put on my arm, and as soon as I was out of the hospital after a week, I called Alan and knew I needed to get hyperbaric oxygen therapy right away, because I know I've used it before for soft tissue injuries, like when I sprained my ankle, but I've read such amazing things about the brain injury side of it. And so I started my sessions right away. I bought 40 sessions, and even after 2 sessions, my elbow was the size of my knee and I could barely move my arm. And after 2 sessions, the swelling was gone, my elbow was a little more normal size, the bruising had gone away, and it really increased the blood flow to my shoulder and started the healing process. But it was about after 10 or 12 sessions that I really noticed the improvement in my memory, my abilities for my eyes to focus. I had some damage to my hearing canal, that improved, my cognitive function. And if you picture me back in December, I could only stay awake for about an hour and a half, and then I had to sleep for 3 to 6 hours. I was only awake 4 or 5 hours a day. I was sleeping 18 to 20 hours a day. And as I got through to January, my lucid times would get longer. After about 12 or 15 sessions with the hyperbaric oxygen, I noticed I could be at work for 3 hours, and then it was 5 hours, and then 7 hours. And by the time we started getting into February, I could stay awake all day long without having a nap. And my recovery's been remarkable. I've had multiple CAT scans, MRIs. I've seen many different neurologists, and they told me that my recovery from a concussion would take 8 months, possibly a couple of years. And I've been back to work since early January. I only missed 1 day of work in January. I wasn't working very long hours, but I was working every day. And I'm back to completely normal. I'm about 6 months ahead of schedule for my recovery. I regained my sense of taste, my eyes are working properly, my hearing is pretty much back to normal. So the recovery has been absolutely remarkable. My doctors are in shock and they can't believe it. I actually had a session with one of my doctors, and I asked her, I said, well, what do you think? How's my recovery doing? And she said, well, I actually have nothing to compare to. I've never had a patient like you. In fact, I've never heard of a patient who's had the injury to your brain that you had and recovered as well as you have. Most people with my brain injury are either in intensive care for 6 weeks or they're a vegetable for the rest of their lives. So, I mean, when I knew I had that diagnosis, I knew that I had to come in and get my hyperbaric oxygen sessions right away. So I can't say enough about how amazing it's been to be normal again, to have my memories back. I had a 3-year-old son, so it's been a miracle. So I'm really happy.
Well, folks, it doesn't get any more real than that. Thanks, Scott, for sharing your story with us. People, if you know anybody who's had a concussion, any kind of a brain injury, please, we have this right here in Central Alberta. Please give me a call at Oxy Wellness or come on down and see what we're all about. Would love to talk to you. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.